Hey, what's up guys? This is Andy VFX, and in this video we are going to take a look at currently edited video and learn the things that has been done to that video. By that way you can learn practical things and get an idea about how the things done in professionally in a real world instead of just doing simple tutorials. So today we are going to take a look at this music video. This is a popular one. So the first thing is when you look at this music video, you see the aspect ratio. It is not the usual 1080p 16:9 video. It is a widescreen video. So how do we create this kind of widescreen video? This is this aspect ratio called 1 to 2.35 aspect ratio, right? So this is the aspect ratio. That means if you are using editing 1080p video, like if the resolution is 1920 by 1080, its aspect ratio is 16:9, like this. Now in order to create 1 to 2.35 sequence, you can use 1920 by 816, right? So you need to create a sequence like this. That way you can get this kind of widescreen look when you upload to this YouTube, right? So now let's go to the Premiere and see how to create this custom sequence. So I'm in Premiere, and for now I'm right click here and new item, new sequence. Here you need to go to the settings, and here you need to select the editing mode to custom, right? So there are some presets. You can create preset and save preset for later use, but in this case we are going to create a custom sequence. Here you can select the frame rate. If you shot your videos at 2997, select that frame rate. So the frame size, for the width we type 1920, and for the horizontal value we type 816, right? So now here you can see it's 40:17 aspect ratio. That means if you divided that, let's say 40 divided by 17, that means 2.35, right? So this is the cinematic. If you want to get this kind of cinematic anamorphic lens look, you need to go with this aspect ratio. This is pretty common in this Indian movies because it looks very romantic, right? So that's the first thing that you can learn from this video. Now the second thing is, did we finish this? No. So we need to finish this. You can type a name for this sequence, let's say demo 2, and you can click OK. Now it will create a sequence. Now you can see it is a widescreen video. Now if you put a video clip on that sequence, let's say we got these two clips and we are going to add this. Now let's take a look at the properties of this clip. You can right click here and you can click on properties. Here you can see the resolution of that image, right? So actually it's a 1280 by 720p video, so right? So these are already edited videos, but if you imported some raw video clips, there may be higher resolution. So you need to use the scaling properties on the effects control panel to make it fit to the screen like this. And you can, the next technique is when you create the scaling for one clip, then you can right click here and you can copy the attributes of that clip. You can copy and then go to the next clip, and you can right click here and you can paste. Click on the not the paste, you need to click on paste attributes. That means it copy all the scale and other motion parameters to this clip from the previous clip. So I click on paste attributes. Now it will give this paste attribute dialog box. Here we can select which attributes do we want to copy to this clip. In this case, I haven't add any position or scale, position or rotation adjustment. So I can select motion. That means the scale is under the motion. So right, so and you need to select the motion and click OK. Now it will fit to the screen like this. right? So now we can get this kind of widescreen look once you adjusted the clip, right? So I think you learned a lot of things using this example. So you can practically use these things when you are editing inside Adobe Premiere. So let's take a look at what else we can learn from this video. So here I'm going to show you a simple dip to black transition. Here, let me play this to you. You may have seen this kind of fade in and fade out transitions in many music videos. Let me show you how to do it correctly, right? So you need to get this kind of very smooth look for your video. So the easy method is, the cheating method is, you can apply the dip to black default transition from Adobe Premiere. If you go to the effects panel, you can search the dip to black, right? So dip to black. So this is the transition. You can drag and drop this to the this point, or you can select the cut like this and you can double click here. Oh no, that doesn't work for the transition. You need to drag and drop. And once you drag and drop the transition, you can double click on the transition. It will open the transition duration dialog box. Here you can adjust the duration of this transition. Let's say we want to make this transition 20 frames. We can just simply type the 20 frames like this and click OK. Now let's play this. I'll mute the audio. So it is very fast, right? So we don't get the exact same look. So you can double click here. I want to make it 2 seconds long, right? It's a pretty long transition. You can type the 2 and then press the dot. That means 2 seconds and dot indicate the 0 frames, right? This is a easy method. If you want it to be 20 frames, you can just simply type the 20. If you type 2 dot, that means it's 2 seconds, right? You can see when you click away, it will automatically create that. Learn this technique. This is pretty helpful. Let's say if you want to make it 10 seconds, you can type 10 and dot. That means it makes 10 seconds. If you want to make it 2 minutes, you can type 2 dot again and it will make the 2 minutes, right? So here you can see it's 2 minutes. That's too much long. I just wanted to teach you the technique that we practically use when we are editing. So in this case, we want to use 2 seconds. I type 2 dot and click OK. Now the transition duration is 2 seconds long. And let's play this. It's a lot more smoother like this. You can press the I on your keyboard to mark the in point. You can mark the O on your keyboard to mark the out point like this. And you can play this. Okay, you can get a similar look. The thing you need to do is you need to adjust the transition duration correctly. That's how you can get a smoother look. So there is another method that professional editors do, right? So when we need to do this kind of transition, first we need to offset this clip 1 frame. You can select the clip and press the Alt key and left arrow on your keyboard. That way you can move this clip by 1 frame. It's a professional technique that we use in day-to-day life. You can see, press the Alt key and left arrow. It will move the clip by 1 frame. You can press the Alt key and right arrow, left arrow. That will move the clip to the left by 1 frame like this. Now you can hold down Alt key on your keyboard and you can use the mouse scroll wheel to make it zoom like this or zoom in or zoom out like this, right? So I just wanted to share these practical techniques with you guys. That way you know how to professionally edit in real world, not just tutorial. Now we are going to add the cross fade. We can search cross fade and here you can see the cross dissolve. You can drag and drop this to this end, and also you can drag and drop this to the other end like this. And I double click here and I change the duration to 1 second like this and click OK, and I change this to 1 second like this. And now after that I can move the clip like this. So let me play this to you again. Now we have a different look, right? So if you want to make the fade in too much longer, you can put the mouse cursor here and it will appear this icon. Now you can extend the transition duration by dragging like this. It will extend the transition duration like this. So it fade out quickly and fade in slowly. Right, so we can get this kind of custom look for your videos by following this technique. So now there is another method that we can use to create this kind of fade in and fade out effect, that is using the opacity handles. So I drag and drop this here, that way expand that, and here you can see if you click on this F icon and right click here, you can see this band is currently set to opacity, right? So if you adjust this band, it will adjust the opacity of the clip. If you move it down, that means opacity will be 0. If you can move it up, that means opacity is 100. We click on this FX icon and we can right click here. If you want to change that band to scale or position, we can manually select these things, right? If you want that band to control the position of the video clip, you can select position, and now when you move this band, it will adjust the position of the clip. Let's say we select, for example, if you select the motion and select the scale, and now this band control the scale of that clip. If you adjust it, it will increase the scale of that clip, right? So I don't want to mess with that. I undo that to back to default. So I just wanted to share with you guys. Now the next thing is we want to go back to the opacity. I right click here and select the opacity. Now opacity is selected. Now this rubber band control the opacity of the clip. To fade in, you can bring the current time indicator to reasonable amount of time like this. I want to fade like in 2 seconds. So I move the current time indicator to this place and I hold down the Alt key on my keyboard and I click here. I hold down the Alt Control key on my keyboard and it will appear this kind of plus mark, and when I click on it, I can add a keyframe. It is simply as adding a keyframe in the effects control panel, but when you practically editing, this method is pretty easy, right? So you move the next place and you hold down the Control key and click here. Now it will add the keyframe. Now I drag this keyframe down like this and move to the edge of that clip. Now when you play this, it's fade out, opacity becomes fade out like this. Now we can use the ease in and ease out properties of this opacity to control this smoothness, right? So let me explain this. So by the way, you can select the panel and you can press the tilde key on your keyboard to make it full screen like this. Now you can select the keyframe and you can see there are some Bezier handles that you can control the fading effect. So in here I select the keyframe and I select ease in. That means I want to smoothly change this opacity, right? So here I changed it to ease out like this. Now we can get this kind of smooth fade out effect. So let's see a preview. You can see now curve is very smooth, not a straight line. So let me play this to you. Right, so you can get that kind of a smooth look. I think duration is too short. I can select the keyframe here and I can move it to the left. It will increase the transition duration. Now you can see it is moving. It is relative to this keyframe. So let me play this to you. Now you can see we can get a much more smoother fade out look instead of just simply applying the cross dissolve, right? So that is one thing that I want to teach you from this video. So hope you guys learn a lot of practical editing techniques from this video. So there are some other things that you can learn from this video, but I'll create a separate video for them. So if you haven't subscribed to Anti-VFX and if you want to learn this kind of practical editing techniques, please subscribe to Anti-VFX. I'll be back with the next video. If you have any video suggestions that you want to learn from, please leave that in the comment section. I'll be happy to teach you the concepts that you can learn from already edited videos by Pro Videos. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll be back with the next video. Stay subscribed. Thanks.